Thank goodness we live not just on bread alone, but on the living word of God. I thank you for this privilege and honor of speaking in front of the audience. I'm much younger than some of the people speaking, so I feel a little...
That's all right. You go ahead.
But I'll freely share with you what I think God has given me. Matthew 22, verse 36 to 4. Which is the greatest command, he said. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And also he continues on, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these commands depend all the law and the prophet. Another version says, on these two commands hangs all the law. So we're technically, without love, you're fallen. With love, you're hanging on. You're hanging on. But with that love, with seeking out to God and just loving each other as you love yourself, loving your enemies, loving everyone that's there, you're hanging on to God, and God is holding on to you. Because he has not chosen us, but we have not chosen him, but he has chosen us. So we have to remember to stay humble, like my mom was saying. And a lot of things she said, I'm not going to re-go over, but she kind of said a lot of things I was writing down here. He said in Philippians 2, 12 and 16 to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. With fear and trembling. Why does he tell us to work it out with fear and trembling if we're so secure in where we are? We should never feel secure, no matter how long you've been saved or how long you've been on the track of following God. Because what happens, the longer you're on that track, the more you can become a suspect for habits. We are creatures of habit. We go to work, we eat lunch, go to work, go back, go home, sleep. We have Bible study 1 day, 2 days a week, whatever it is. Church on Sunday, like we decided, then go back and do it again. But God's saying, don't make me a habit.
Hey, my God.
Don't make me a habit.
Hallelujah. Come on.
If your heart is not in the right place when you seek me, then you don't know me. Because he said, many will come to me and say, Lord, Lord, haven't I done this in your name? Haven't I done this and that in your name? And he's going to say, I do not know you. Because the thing that matters most is a relationship with God. He doesn't care what you do. It is not by your works that you're saved, but it is by his grace. It's a gift from God. You can't earn what he's already given.
My God.
That's right. That's right.
And sometimes in the churches, and many churches we've gone to, it seems like they're trying to earn his respect or his salvation, and we're striving for it, not realizing it's already given to us. We don't have to work. He said, my burden is light. It's light. It's not supposed to be heavy. We don't have to sit here and carry and keep trying. Oh God, just trying so hard to make it in. He just requires a relationship, and with a relationship, you have to have an encounter with God.
Yes, yes.
And how do you have an encounter with someone?
Yes.
You have to be where that person is. Say you have like these celebrities people look up to, or someone that you really want to meet. In order to meet that person, you have to get into their zone. You have to get to where they are. So to get with God, you have to get in where he is to have an encounter with him. You can't just stay on the outside and look in. You have to put all your heart, mind, soul into it. Just like when we worship with our lives, the way we walk every single day, he should be the first thing. He's saying to us, what is your heart's desire? What is it that you're really desiring throughout your day or throughout the week when you're going on? Are you really desiring me throughout, with every second and every minute that you're walking and that you're doing the things that you do? Another thing that I wrote one time that he gave me was, he said, you will not be rich until you do not desire to be rich. And I'm talking about natural. But when you desire me with all your heart, then you will consider yourself the richest person on earth. Then the riches you once craved will no longer matter.
Come on.
Then can I trust you with the things you once desired, because I know you will use them as I lead you to.
Yes.
Do not be deceived by your own heart's intentions. Like my mom was saying, the heart is deceitful above all things. Who can know it? God. Just when you think you know your heart, and that's saying, oh, I'm following God, and you think you're on the right track, he says, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Why have we lost the fear of the Lord? Knowing that he is also, he's the God of love, the God of mercy, but he is also the God of judgment with the Sodom and Gomorrah. And he's saying, where are my people? The people that believe. We should be trees planted by living rivers of water, planted, growing, our roots extending, gripping more and more to that word. Jesus is the word, came down in flesh. The more we read the word, the more he is in us. The more he is in us, the more he goes through us. And the more he goes through us, the more we reach the other people like we want to.
Hallelujah.
But we can't reach people until we have our heart right, until we're focusing on him. And we're not doing it out of ill intention. And you really have to, continue to seek God, because you could be doing it and thinking that your heart's right, and thinking that you're all good and you're in the right place.
Yeah.
But he said, lean not on your own understanding.
Amen.
Because we can fall. Just like with the verse with enter, narrow is the way to the life, but wide is the way to destruction. It's so much easier to go to destruction. There's so many distractions in front of us right now with TV, technology, everything in front of us, taking our focus off of God.
Yes.
He wants us to just focus on him and stop thinking about everything else. And he doesn't want us worrying about the money or what we don't have. It's not about that. We weren't meant to prosper and be all rich on this earth, because this is not the only life. And I know it's going to be a hard thing for some people to hear, because they're like, what? I am blessed. Yes, you're blessed, and he's going to bless you. But I think what matters most is spiritual. We battle not against flesh and blood, but against spirits and principalities and high places. And it doesn't matter. He told the rich man, from all these things I have kept from my youth, all the commands, all these things. One thing he lacked: leave all you have, come and follow me. If you were rich and had lots of things, would you leave all you have and follow him? Would you really seriously, if you were rich, if you were Bill Gates rich, and he was here and he was walking around, would you really leave all you had and follow him? And you just walk, you just go. Like they were saying, you just go. You just start walking and go with him and follow him. Wow. He really wants us to get this, I believe. He doesn't want us to focus on ourselves. Jesus didn't want acknowledgement. People told him who he was. People knew who he was by the way he walked. He didn't need to say it. I mean, I know some of us that if we were the Christ, we'd walk around, yeah, that's me. Someone said, yeah, that's me. Yeah, I did that. But he wasn't like that. It wasn't about that with him. And he set the example for how we should be in our everyday lives, and being humble and just following. And just like, the way I think about it is Satan was so close to God, at one point, and the pride is what knocked him all the way down.
Yes.
That pride.
Yes.
And that's the thing we always have to focus on. And another thing he gave me one time is, all the good we have, and any good thing you do, you need to give God the glory and knock your own self down.
Amen.
You need to say, that's not me. All the good that came from me came from him, because he breathed life into me. The only reason I have good morals and the good things that I do and I do these things are because of him. Without him, I would not be any good. I would not do any good. Just like people out there that, they do good things and they say, I have good morals without God. It's not true. You were created by God. That's why you have good morals in you. That's why you have the things that you say you call good in you. And why you can say that you do those things. And that's why sometimes we wonder, we say, well, why is this person rich? He doesn't even believe. Or why does he have all the prospering and all these things? Because his word still remains true for the unbeliever. His word still remains true. You reap what you sow. And they sowed what they sowed, and they prospered with what they did and the ideas they had and what they came up with. So you reap what you sow, and we need to continue sowing and praying, seeking God, seeking his face with all of our heart, with all our mind, and all of our soul. And we need to think about that. And when we do praise and worship and worshiping God, just to stop worrying about everything else around us and the circumstances that are going on in our life and the things that we're missing, and to just focus on him. We say we believe his word, but we don't act or do what he said for us to do. We say we believe his word, but it should be a part of us. Everywhere we go, the light should shine. And basically, even when it comes to things that should harm us, when Paul was walking, was bit by a venomous snake, it didn't affect him. It did not affect him. That's how strong his faith was. He gives to each man a measure of faith, but that faith can increase. Ask him. Keep seeking him. And the more we do that, and the more we keep going forward, the more that we seek his face and continue to just focus on that love and loving others and having that with all our mind, body, and soul, then we'll be in that place. And when we're humble enough to realize that whatever we're doing or He's doing through us, to always just say, no, that's not me. And when anyone says anything to you, when anyone says anything to me, I just kind of look down. I'm just like, that's not me. When anything that like they say, oh, I love the way you do this or that, I'm like, thank you, but to God be the glory. I understand the supporting of us, and don't want us to be discouraged, but we have to not let ourselves get big-headed. Because once that happens, it doesn't matter how close we were to God, we're just going to fall.
Amen.